Welcome to Friday Friends, RI Elder Info's weekly look at the organizations and individuals providing resources for Rhode Island seniors, caregivers, and professionals.
Everybody, happy Friday. It is 9 o'clock on Friday, and you are watching me, Deb Burton, Executive Director of RI Elder Info. Every week we bring you Friday Friends, where I bring you guests that are sharing information and resources that you or someone you know needs to know about. And today's conversation is going to be about the taboo topics that are going to be discussed at the Aphasia Awareness Conference coming up this month. And I am so excited to have this conversation. Now, as you all know, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, and we could not bring you Friday Friends without the support of our sponsors and our donors. So thank you to everyone who has supported our work, especially United Healthcare and our Friday Friends sponsor, CareForth. Here's a message from CareForth.
Caregiving, first of all, is the most selfless act. You're just on 24/7. In order to do all that, you need someone to make sure that you, as the caregiver, are taking care of yourself. And nobody cares for your family like you do. You love them. The whole program is amazing to get paid for something that you would do even if you weren't getting paid. You're not just one person, but you have a whole team behind you, and we're all here to help.
Hi, Denise. How are you today?
Good morning, Deb. I am feeling great today.
Awesome. So please tell everybody who you are and your organization.
Hi, my name is Denise Lowell. I am a stroke survivor who is living with aphasia. I was at the age of 48, had a stroke, and I just couldn't find the right resources I really needed here in Rhode Island. So like we do with other things in our life, if we can't find it, we make it. So that's where Just Ask Aphasia, Stroke, and Knowledge started about 8 years now.
Wow. It's been that long, because I remember when you were first getting started, and so many things have changed over that time, and your organization is constantly growing. What are you working on now?
This year, we are so happy to celebrate our 8th annual conference. This year is a little risque, I'll say. This was part of the survey from a lot of our members wanted to talk about for next year's conference. So I took a look at it, and I really haven't seen anybody else do some of this. And I figured, why not? So this is what we're going to do. It's called Taboo. So this was a lot of stuff that we really want to talk about, but we may be embarrassed or we don't want to say it out loud. But there were many of you that asked for that. So this is where it's coming up. So we're talking about some of the emotional stuff that happens with our life when we've had a stroke or we had a brain injury. Some of the emotional stuff is not in our control. And why does that happen? So we're going to talk a lot about the neurology part of that damage and how we can address it. And know that you're not alone, that this happens to a lot of individuals who've had a stroke or a brain injury, specifically on the left side of your brain.
And is that, when you say emotional challenges, is that why sometimes people who have had a stroke or a brain injury, they may spontaneously cry when the circumstances don't seem to be something one would ordinarily cry over, or maybe they would become angry? Is that the kind of emotion that you mean?
That is one of them. That is one of the things that you may have the emotional laughing or crying. That's not appropriate for the situation. Some of the other emotional things is just a flat affect where they don't show any emotion. They're not excited. They're not sad. We don't know why, how they're reacting. So kind of read somebody's reaction to things. you may not get that because that flat affect is just there due to the damage. But inside, they are having emotionals, they're feeling sad, they're feeling happy, but it doesn't express that way. The other type of emotional stuff we're talking about is just sometimes the grieving. It's kind of like feeling depressed. And it's not, you may not have been depressed before, and you may not be feeling that sad about your life now and how you've recovered and things getting better. But sometimes we just have that grief part that it has affected. So a lot of us will not go to a therapist or talk about this because we feel like we need to have control of that and something it's beyond what we can actually control. So knowing about you're not the only one that's having some of these emotional situations is great to actually have a neurologist, speech pathologist, which we're happy to have on our first session. Our second session is, now that we know a little bit about this emotional stuff, how do we have relationships? How do we go from being a care partner to having a relationship, even a sexual relationship with a loved one? It's really hard to switch gears. So let's talk about it. And I'm really excited to see how we can get more information and how we can talk about it. One of the special things I like about our conference is it is recorded. If you've registered for the conference, you'll get notification of when the registration is available. But what's really special is the Q&A part of our meetings. We don't record that. I want people to feel as comfortable as possible about asking some of these questions. I want you to ask them, even put it in a text box, but you may not want other people to hear it, or you don't want that recorded later, because this is really can be very personal. And once you ask that question, everybody is taking a sigh of relief. Thank goodness somebody else asked that question, because you are not alone. These are some of the really sensitive information that we really need to know, and we just don't know how to get there. So if you attend, which I strongly encourage you to register for this free conference, and understand that our Q&As are not recorded. We do cut
That's really important, because I think if you're talking about sexuality after a major medical event, that maybe you don't want it in the replay, that you're the one that asked. But I think it's important that the information be shared, because you're right. If one person has that question, the statistical probability is there are hundreds or thousands of people who have that same question. And I think having that community that you're building that allows people that safe space to ask these questions that are ordinarily taboo, I think it's so important. Now, when is your conference taking place?
We start on Saturday, June 6th. Wow, already. And we do it every Saturday in June. It is in virtual. We have people around the world that attends our conference. So everyone can get there on a Saturday morning, 9:00, have a coffee, sit on your couch, relax, learn about aphasia, stroke, and brain injury. And then you'll still be out by 11:30 to go hit the beach or go outside and enjoy the day. But it is recorded. If you've registered, you'll get the notification right away. And again, it's free. One of the best things that I was able to do with Just Ask was that when I had my stroke and I wanted to learn more about the challenges and about aphasia, webinars were costing about $400. I couldn't afford to go to a webinar to learn about what's going on. I never signed up for this disability. I had no idea about it. And I said, nobody should have to pay to learn about a disability or a challenge that they didn't sign up for. And not only do we need this information, we deserve it. And so we've continued for 8 years providing these conferences free for individuals. And again, like Deb, I'm a nonprofit organization, and we could not do it without our donors and our sponsors. And I'm very happy about our sponsors this year. So thank you.
Okay, I got to ask, who are your sponsors? Let's give them a shout out because you're
Shout out to Rhode Island Department of Health. Thank you very much. And we have nursing placement, and really thankful for them. Both of these organizations have been so generous and so supporting of the resources and the education that Just Ask provides. And we continue to work with them, and we just can't say thank you enough for them.
They are some great organizations. So thank you to the Rhode Island Department of Health and Nursing Placement, because without their support, having this conference, you're right. Nobody said, I'm a little bored today. I think I'll have a stroke, or I think I want a brain injury, and all of the costs and challenges that come with it. So you're right. Like, having this conference available for free and recorded, because I know sometimes if you have a brain injury, taking things in, you might have to watch it more than once, and you're giving people that opportunity. So I think that's awesome, and allowing people to ask those questions, like the ones that we hold inside, and offering that safe space to people.
And the best thing about Just Ask is, like, it's not just for the individual and their care partners. What I've found over the years is they find this very educational for professionals. I have a lot of professionals sign up for this because this is some of the information they're not always receiving from their clients, or that they need this education because they may now have more information about working with a client that may have a brain injury or a stroke, and knowing what aphasia is. So I was really happy to see over the years the number of professionals that are registering for the conference. The other thing that's been exciting is especially speech pathologists, because communication disorders are very challenging. And once you've seen one person with a communication disorder, you've seen one person. So when you can attend these sessions and you can learn from it, it is really helpful. The other thing that I was really excited, I found out the past 2 years, it's been amazing that a lot of the colleges around the United States have required this to be part of their sessions, to attend one of our sessions and use it as one of their reports for their projects. So it's been great to go out, and I get to meet with some of these students and answer some of their questions about our conferences. So it's a win-win for everybody, not just the individual who has a brain injury or a stroke or having a communication disorder. It's for many people. So when we started with maybe 40 people attending, now we have over 400 people attending on registering for our classes. And every Saturday, we have about 80 people in attendance every Saturday, and I'm hoping it grows this year. So please register and learn about what you can learn more about those with a brain injury, stroke, and specifically aphasia, and a little bit about those taboo areas that are a little gentle or uncomfortable to talk about. So we're here for you, and we will support you.
Absolutely. And, I think it is important for the healthcare professionals to understand that maybe the people they are serving might feel a little uncomfortable bringing these things up, or maybe, in general, even without a brain injury, some of these topics are difficult to bring up with your healthcare provider. If you are having some mental health concerns or ability to effectively communicate with your partner, or sexual dysfunctions, or needing to do things in a different way. Those are issues that sometimes can be hard to talk to your doctor about. So it's important for the medical professionals that are signing up for this to really hear the lived experience of people, and to understand like how important these things are, of course. So I love that you're doing this.
And now the professionals can ask those questions. Now that is something people want to talk about. And it's not wrong or disrespectful to ask these questions. Same thing, we ask everybody, how you feeling? We do a mental health scan. We know how they're feeling. It's okay to ask those questions too. We're still human, we're still people, and we still want to live a really fulfilling life. And that's part of it.
Now, your conference is on Zoom every Saturday in June. Why in June? Why did you pick June?
I picked June because June is Aphasia Awareness Month. And this is something that I wasn't aware of back in the day. And now I notice that there's so much knowledge about June being aphasia awareness. And one of the things I've learned that many states have a proclamation saying that that June is Aphasia Awareness Month. And unfortunately, we don't have it in Rhode Island. So
we need that.
We don't have it yet. So I met with my friend Cheryl, and we sent out a letter to the governor acknowledging that June is Awareness Month for aphasia, and we want them to acknowledge it and to give a proclamation this year. We hadn't heard back from them yet, but I went to an event this weekend, and I ran into the governor. I had a conversation with him, and we're going to work together this week to see if we can make it happen this June. But if we can't, we will definitely make it happen next year, because we're the littlest state, but we provide a lot of resource and support for those with aphasia, especially with the services that Just Ask provides. So we're going to keep working on it. Not yet, Deb, just like you say, not yet, but we will be there.
One step at a time. Now you have the conference. What other services does Just Ask provide?
Just Ask, we started just having a once a month group so that people could come. It's called the Aphasia Social Network Group. We don't have a typical support group. We have an activity group. We want to live our life. If you need a therapist or you need a support group, they do something else. We want to live our life. Now we go Monday nights, every Monday nights because of COVID, and we do it virtually. So there's people around the world to actually attend. And what we do is we do fun things. And these fun things are actually functional activities that keep our skills improving. We have game night. We have, right now we are doing, tonight, I think this coming Monday, we'll be doing tips and tools. Like some of these tools cost lots of money. But I found out that a lot of our friends here come up with some really creative ways of making their own tips and tools, or find some strategies that make life a little bit more independent. So once a month, they get together and they share what they have. Who else knows better than somebody's living the life? So I love that group. We have the game night. We also have a conversation group where we talk about what's going on, keep our conversation going, keep everybody up to date, be friendly, and just sharing. We also finish it off our month with a guest speaker. We try to find great guest speakers to kind of provide resources and education that we may not have all the time. A lot of us, after a couple of years, we don't have insurance that covers our speech anymore, or covers our PT or OT, but we still want to keep up to date. I mean, especially with technology and what resources are now available. So our guest speakers are amazing to go and keep us up to date on what's going on and how to stay involved in your community. In addition to that, we now provide a care partner group once a month, because who's the best people to help us? We need to take good care of our care partners so they can take care of us. And again, we have educational, we have resources, we go out in the community. It has grown so tremendously over the years. And I'm really proud of how we've grown, and we continue to grow and provide the resources that we need here in Rhode Island.
Denise, the work that you have done is amazing. And you're right. When you find that you need something and what you need doesn't exist, you create it. And I love what you've created. You're helping thousands of people. It truly is amazing. With everything you're doing, I'm really glad you had time to come on Friday, Friends, especially with such a big conference coming up.
Yes. Well, thank you. And I totally appreciate working with you over the years, and I'm sure we'll stay together for many more years.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Living my best life.
Absolutely. Thank you. Everybody, Just Ask Aphasia Stroke Knowledge. Their aphasia conference is always amazing. There's so much to learn. And because it's taped, you can learn at your own speed. It is free and it is based on real life experience. It's not one of those conferences that just kind of, here's the stuff that we want to give you. It's actually based on what real people want to learn and individuals' feedback. So it's a very helpful conference. I strongly encourage you to visit the justaskri.com website and sign up for the conference, because these days strokes are becoming more common, and aphasia, the communication disorder that comes with stroke, is also becoming more common. It's important that we all understand that there is a high degree of probability that throughout our lifetime, we will encounter individuals who have aphasia, or it may be ourselves at any age. So I encourage you, again, check it out. We are very grateful that you have joined us all here today. Please put on your calendar Saturday, August 15th from 10 to 1. It is RI Elder Info's 7th annual Calling All Veterans Day event. It is taking place at the CB Museum at 21 Iafrate Way down in North Kingstown. Rhode Island directions in the Daves and Coles Plaza. It's going to be amazing. So I hope that you will join us on the 15th of August in person. It's a Saturday. The weather beings are going to be friendly to us, I'm sure. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us. I look forward to seeing you all again next week. In the meantime, be well and be kind.